now available in paperback. From the author of the critically acclaimed book The Man Crisis comes The Woman Crisis. Learn why so many women have become lost in their quest to have it all in The Woman Crisis. Get your copy of The Woman Crisis in paperback at Amazon.com and online booksellers today. Federal prosecutors have told the family of Shanquella Robinson they won't be pursuing charges in relation to her death in Mexico. Now, Shanquella Robinson, back in 2022, decided to take several of her friends on a vacation in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. And as the 25-year-old entrepreneur decided to take her friends on this vacation in Cabo San Lucas, she rented out a luxury Airbnb in Cabo San Lucas for all of her friends to stay in. Now, 2 days into this vacation that Shanquella Robinson was paying for, all of her friends abruptly decided to leave Cabo San Lucas and decided to return home, where they told her parents that Shanquella passed away as the result of alcohol poisoning. However, Mexican authorities tell a completely different story. In their autopsy, they say that Shanquella Robinson passed away from a broken neck, and there's an alleged viral video showing Shanquella Robinson, who is naked inside of her Airbnb in one of the bedrooms, being viciously assaulted by one of her friends, while other friends stand around, and one of the alleged boyfriends of one of the women allegedly tapes this entire event. And this event has been shown in a viral video that has been presented on websites like World Star Hip Hop. Now, when I take a critical examination of this decision by U.S. prosecutors not to prosecute any of the individuals as related to the what I believe to be the murder of Shanquella Robinson, it is a travesty of justice. And it's a travesty of justice because no one on the U.S. side is going to be able to prosecute these individuals as related to the alleged murder of Shanquella Robinson, even though there is video evidence to show that there was an assault allegedly on Shanquella Robinson. Moreover, we have a pattern with all of these individuals leaving abruptly right after the death of Shanquella Robinson that shows that there was definitely some malice of forethought and some possible intent to murder Shanquella Robinson. Because I believe that there was always a plan to go out and take the life of Shanquella Robinson, and I believe that there was a plan done with malice of forethought, because Shanquella Robinson, while she thought she had friends, she really had a group of enemies around her, and these enemies strategically planned her murder, and they planned her murder so that they could get away with it, because they understood that if they commit a crime in Mexico, they would not be able to be extradited from the United States. Many of these individuals, who I believe were posing as Shanquella Robinson's friends, were secretly jealous of Shanquella Robinson's success and all of the accomplishments she had made over time, and they were jealous of the fact that she was out here making lots of money and able to go out here and spend it on them, and they were angry about seeing her being shining and rising to a higher level, and the only way they knew how to take down Shanquella Robinson was to take her life. And that really shows me how evil and depraved some people can be, because it takes a truly group of evil individuals to go out here and go along all the way to another country to take the life of someone, and then use that whole trip to plan somebody's murder and plan to get away with that murder. That is a special brand of evil. And again, what's really sad here is that none of these individuals will be punished by the U.S. criminal justice system because the FBI, after doing their investigation, have decided that there, as they say, there is not enough evidence as related to the death of Shanquella Robinson to charge any of these individuals with any sort of crime. And I have to believe that there's some racial angles to this because when it comes down to white girls like Natalie Holloway, they try to find out who wound up taking this woman's life, and they exhaust all resources to find out what happened to that white girl. But when it comes to black girls, it clearly shows that the criminal justice system really doesn't really care about black women. And this is a textbook case that shows how little regard the U.S. justice system has for black women because they didn't really want to cover the story of Shanquella Robinson. No, we would have never known about what happened to Shanquella Robinson if it had not been for new black media. It was new black media that actively went out here and reported on this story. Otherwise, Shanquella Robinson's death would have been officially the lies that her so-called friends wanted to tell, which was saying that, oh, Shanquella died of alcohol poisoning, and people would not have gone out here and gotten outraged as related to it if it wasn't for new black media going out here and reporting on the story of Shanquella Robinson, because it was new black media that valued the life of this young sister and wanted to make sure that she got justice. But sadly, she won't be getting justice in her own country from her own government. No, what we're told is, oh, the Mexican authorities are the only ones who can go out here and prosecute these individuals. And we all know that the Mexican authorities have no interest in prosecuting anybody black because they don't really care about justice over there. No, it's a corrupt system. And this is what her so-called predatory friends wanted to take advantage of. Many of those reprehensible human beings that Shanquella Robinson, was with really were looking to capitalize on the corrupt Mexican criminal justice system. And as they were looking to capitalize on the corrupt Mexican criminal justice system, this is why they planned her murder with malice aforethought. And this is why they planned, I believe, her murder with this malice aforethought, because they then knew that there was no international extradition, and they knew they could go out here and get even with this woman that they were jealous with, and then come back to America and act like their hands were clean. And that is the just most reprehensible thing about this whole case of Shanquella Robinson, is that we have black people going out here looking to finesse a criminal justice system in the U.S. and Mexico, and again, looking to finesse that criminal justice system and looking to take a person's life, showing how little regard they have for the life of someone. It just shows how evil these people allegedly were, because this is the kind of evil I myself ran into when I was 13 years old. And I can tell you, if they're this evil, they were never Shanquella's friends. And that was the saddest part of Shanquella's story. She thought she had friends, but she was really surrounded by enemies, and those enemies just waited for the right time to strike her, and that's what happened here, sadly. I mean, when I look at the case of Shanquella Robinson, again, it takes me back to when I was at IS 148, and when I was 13 years old. I was with a group of guys who collected comics who I thought were my friends, but these same individuals eventually decided to turn on me. And when they turned on me, they made my life a living hell for several months. They went from saying, oh, we don't want you around us, and I decided to go and walk my own way. But then they wanted to go out here and stole my comics, wanted to start with me, keep starting with me, and eventually I had to keep fighting with these guys, and they eventually left me alone after a whole lot of drama. And again, just it was a sad part of my life, but it's a one that I learned, not everybody is your friend. And sometimes it's just better to roll solo. And that's what I've been doing ever since I was 13 years old. And sadly, Shanquella Robinson, she didn't have a way out of this situation. And sadly, she ran into a worse situation than I did when I was 13 years old. She ran into a situation with a group of predators who didn't look to just go out here and keep fighting with her. No, all of these people sat there and planned her murder, and because it's a special kind of evil to sit there and stand in a room while a so-called friend is being assaulted by another friend, and even more reprehensible that her boyfriend is standing there taping this whole event. Again, that's not what men and women of character do who care about each other. No, when men and women who care about each other and are friends, when they see two friends fighting, they look to break up that fight because they want to see all of their friends be safe, and they want to work out whatever conflict they're having. That is what a true to the game friend wants to do. And it's just, it disgusts me to see these so-called people calling themselves friends. And again, all of them were standing there watching this woman being viciously beaten by another woman and another person taping it. And what's really, again, most disgusting is that this young black woman will never get justice by the U.S. criminal justice system or the Mexican justice system. And since this is the way things are, it's better that vengeance be put in the hands of the Most High, because when you fall into the hands of the living God, you are going to get the ultimate justice, and that's what's possibly going to happen when these monsters eventually wind up reaping what they sow, later than they sow, greater than they sow. And when they reap a bitter harvest and they wind up suffering through life, they will all get what they deserve for taking the life of this woman. Because if you had issues with this woman, the best thing to do is just walk away from this woman. But these people didn't want to walk away from this woman because they were so jealous of her. No, they wanted to destroy, I believe, this woman's life, and that's what makes all of those individuals monsters. I mean, if you didn't like this woman, you shouldn't have taken her money for her vacation. You shouldn't have gone on that trip. You should have just left this woman alone, let it be known you didn't want anything to do with her, and put a period at the end of things. Unfortunately, these monsters didn't care about Shanquella at all. And again, while the criminal justice system won't mete out justice, God will mete out justice. And I believe that the justice that the Lord metes out in his vengeance will allow all of these people to be punished the way they deserve, because the way they murdered this young woman, I believe if that video is true, just shows how much of a monster all of those people are. I mean, it just shows how evil people can be. And I myself know how evil people can be because, again, I have experienced this kind of evil. And this kind of evil, it's the kind of evil that, again, a lot of these systems here won't punish. And it's because a lot of these people try to finesse like these individuals did. These individuals, again, just wanted to finesse the Mexican and American criminal justice systems. And again, just showing how evil and reprehensible they are. And these individuals, again, while they may have thinking that they have evaded the American criminal justice system and put one over on the American justice system and won't be put in jail for any of their crimes, well, they have to worry about the Most High putting them in hell, because the evil that they've done is just, I believe it's going to be punished. And it's going to be punished in the proper way, because just because they got away with the American criminal justice system and the Mexican criminal justice system, they haven't gotten away with anything with God. And I guarantee all of these monsters will eventually reap what they sow, and they will reap a bitter harvest over the course of their lives for the life of the woman that they took. Now, if you want to learn more about what leads to women participating in just heinous actions like this, you can pick up my book, The Woman Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Woman Crisis at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can send a donation to my Patreon, my PayPal, or my Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available for the first time in paperback, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single. Learn all the reasons why so many Black women can't find a husband and why 70% of Black women are single. Get your copy of Why 70% of Black Women Are Single on Amazon.com today.